Hey,
Chris.
John.
How
You're
are
looking
you?
for me?
Yeah. So I want to catch up with you.
Yeah, no, I just I texted you too, so go
Okay.
ahead.
So we wanted to just get back to you about what you reported to us, and we understand the situation made you feel uncomfortable when John described to you how to do the wires.
Yeah.
Um, so Silvana and I looked into the situation. We talked with John, heard his version. Um, it was similar in ways to what you had said, but based upon what we heard from him, and the fact that we didn't have any other witnesses, it wasn't intended to be sexual in nature, other than describing the yellow snow. And John's explanation is he's told his maintenance people for years what yellow snow is, and that was his intent. It wasn't to point to any bodily parts or anything.
Okay, well, the one thing that he always does to us before now is he constantly tries to make us do things his way.
Well,
Like,
hold on, Chris. That has nothing to do with
I-
what you're alleging.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to get at is with the wires thing, I tried explaining him that I will take a picture of the diagram of how the PTEX is set up and just follow it that way. I try telling him,
So is John your supervisor?
John's my director. It's the director.
Okay, but he's your supervisor.
Yeah, but I tried
He's your
explaining.
boss, right?
I tried explaining him how I do things, and
Well,
that's
hold on. Your boss has a right to ask you to do things his way, doesn't he?
yes, but it's something simple. Wiring harness shouldn't be a big deal, though. It's just wiring up the harness.
Okay, but he's asking you to do certain things his way. He's been doing things for years and years and years, and he's asking you that for a reason. Wouldn't it be good to try it his way?
By following diagrams that I don't recognize, when I can just take a picture of how it's wired up and just following it that way again. That way it doesn't make any mistakes. No thinking, just taking a picture.
Yeah, sure, either way would work, but I'm just suggesting, since he's your supervisor, there's nothing wrong with him trying to
Yeah, but
teach
the way-
people to do things his way.
But I can't learn just by him telling me things. I do things by doing things hands-on.
Yeah.
That's telling me to, by making nicknames for these wires, it's not going to help me learn things. I learn by doing things hands-on, which
Right.
is taking a picture of how the wires are schematic
Mhm.
and wired up and doing that way. Being forced doing things a different way is not going to help me learn things. It's just going to get me more confused.
So you're saying he's forcing you to do things?
Yes.
How so?
By making me follow the wiring ways that he's doing it, by
Okay, you told me that example. What other example?
expecting us by pulling different. It's hard to explain right now. It just he's having us change all our different ways that we've been doing it, expecting us to do things his way. Yes, he's the supervisor, but even if both ways gets the job done, why would it really matter?
Because he's the boss. He's probably thinks it's more efficient, and there's certain ways that have worked for him and his team.
That okay, it works for him. That doesn't mean it's going to work for us. Like expecting us to pull things on the flat card that's on the carpet card with the rope. That's one way to expecting us to do things his way, and that's one way I'm not going to do, unfortunately, because I know there's carpet dollies. It's just going to wheel wherever they want to, and that's just going to cause even more
But are
damage.
you willing to try things his way since he's your supervisor? Sounds
Well,
you're not.
like I said, why should it really matter if it's something simple, like say the wires? Like I try explaining him that I have a way that I know to get things done for that, but then he.
But Chris, you described that you've been doing things certain ways, and that you should be able to continue to do things your way, and that
Because
he
it's
shouldn't do it his
simple.
way.
Because it's simple as just wiring up a thermostat to the
I'm not talking
PTAC.
about wiring or pulling the carpet. You're kind of making general statements as if you don't want to listen to the direction he's giving you.
I understand there's specific directions,
Yeah.
but all the things that I'm trying to list is minor things, and he keeps on trying to get me to do things his way that's minor.
Well, I told you this when we met as a group. If my boss calls me up and asks me to do something, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it because
But like I said,
he or
I
she
can't.
has a reason for that.
Giving wires nicknames is not how I learn. Doing things hands-on is how I
Chris,
learn.
what I'm telling you is you got to be open-minded and reasonable to try to do things that your supervisor's doing, because he shouldn't be doing it just for the sake of it. He's trying to do things that have worked in the past for him.
Yes, it's worked in the past for him, but
And his team. He's managed
Okay,
maintenance
but-
teams.
I understand that. But trying to change like different ways, like I don't understand how it's a big deal when it's just simple as wiring up the thermostat. As long as it gets done.
Well, I would encourage you to continue to work with him and talk with him about that, and that maybe there's different ways you learn that aren't the same ways that he would learn, and he should be open-minded to do that. But the reason we called you in here was because you had requested a conclusion or a follow-up on this investigation, and I told you what we've investigated, and I've heard your story, I've heard your side of the story, I've heard John's side of the story, and then we've had to just make a determination of what the intent was. And, I think you made a pretty serious allegation as far as sexual in nature.
Yeah, because it made me uncomfortable.
I understand that made you uncomfortable, but sexual is something where you've been either approached, made a sexual comment about.
It could also include a
interaction.
sexual gesture by doing that.
But yellow snow isn't. There's nothing
Yeah, but
sexual about
yeah,
it.
but the thing is, he brought the cigarette down and acted like it was his dick. That's what made it uncomfortable. That's what makes it sexual in nature.
Well, I'm gonna make sure he talks to you. Did he talk to you about this incident at all?
He's been avoiding me the whole time, so it just seems like he's being petty towards me at this point. And even when he asked me to look at the railing in the bathroom, he had called the head concierge's cell phone, and she had to give me her cell phone for him to talk to me.
Because after the day that we had that meeting, I heard you and him talking on the radio together.
That's a real instance that he talks on the radio.
Did you have any other thoughts about this, his
No.
allegations?
But the thing is, so you guys haven't had a meeting with John after we met with this stuff?
It's like he's been avoiding us, really. And even at one point, he even said, I forget who told me, but he was offline where he wasn't answering any calls or radios. At times, he doesn't even carry his radio around.
Well, he should be available to talk to you multiple ways: radio, cell phone.
Well, he expects us to constantly use our cell phone to contact him, even though that's not something that he's able to do. We have work radios, which is how we communicate. You can't tell us how to use our personal phones.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure what else I can say other than, we finished up that meeting agreeing that we should all be treated with respect. And it goes both ways between your manager and your supervisor. And there should be good communication. And that's what I expect from both him and you. So if you're saying it's not happening, we can certainly talk to John and make sure it is happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
No? Thank you.
Yes.